pickup truck traveling alone in a forested area was destroyed by a Russian attack drone. Kharkov region. The T-72 crews of the 44th Army Corps are at work. The men move quickly and consistently. The T-72 is the main battle tank. It is one of the most widely used tanks in the world and has been and is in active service in many countries such as Russia, Ukraine, Syria, and Iraq. T-72A, T-72BC, and T-72M models are also available. Artillery units of the 29th Army of the Vostok Group are shelling positions in the South Donetsk direction. Drone operators find the target, give the coordinates to the artillery opens fire, the drone operator controls the hit. The Prince of Novgorod Vandal fiber optic drone flew over infantry whose movements were detected. The Prince of Novgorod Vandal transmits data via fiber optic cable while remaining connected to the operator, making reconnaissance and targeting resistant to electronic warfare interference. UAV operators of the 429th Motorized Rifle Regiment identified the location of the Armed Forces of Ukraine UAV landing site and then visited the checkpoint with the attack drone. Russian attack drones are actively flying in the air day and night. During reconnaissance, the attack drone noticed the movement of a van and sat on top of it. A pickup truck parked in the same direction was destroyed by the Russian drone. Russian drone operators detected the Ukrainian Armed Forces UAV control point and destroyed the position with successive powerful drone strikes. Pokrovskoye direction. A Ukrainian Armed Forces tank came under heavy attack, and its crew had to abandon the tank. A personnel leaving the tank came face-to-face with a Russian FPV drone. Footage from the objective control of the Russian Armed Forces Air Crew's FAB-500 bombing of the temporary deployment point of the Air Force Command in the direction of Kherson in the 18th Army's area of responsibility. An FPV operator of the 215th Reconnaissance Battalion of the 98th, an FPV operator of the 215th Reconnaissance Battalion of the 98th Guards Airborne Division of the Airborne Forces, visited the construction of a new line of defense in the Konstantinovsky direction. Pokrovsk direction. A German Leopard 2A4 tank was hit by FPV. It was intercepted on the approach to Pokrovsk. The Leopard tank was on its way to work on Russian positions, but Russian drones blocked its movement. At night, a VT-40 drone was sent in, and the tank was finished off. The supply routes of the Ukrainian Armed Forces bridgehead in the Kursk region are under constant fire from pilots of FPV drones of the Russian Armed Forces. This time, the prey of the KVN fiber optic drone was an AFU Rochelle Senator armored vehicle 1.5 kilometers from the state border. Operators of the 14th Guard Special Forces Brigade of the Vostok Group hit basements and temporary deployment houses with drones. Be sure to leave your thoughts on FPV drones in the comments. Kherson direction. UAV control points of the armed forces of Ukraine were detected. Russian reconnaissance drones reported the coordinates of the detected point to the attack drones, and the attack drones immediately set off. The first drone broke the door, the second drone and the third drone entered the building and destroyed the checkpoint. Another drone checkpoint was detected in a village in the same direction. The checkpoint was hit and destroyed. The movement of a personnel was detected inside the destroyed house. A drone capable of dropping ammunition dropped the ammunition. And then a drone ready to take off in an open area was shot down and destroyed. And in another village in the same direction, a house used as both a temporary deployment point and a drone control point was also detected. Reconnaissance drones monitored it for a long time and reported what was happening. Then the drones mobilized for the attack. They moved quickly directly towards the house and hit it. South Donetsk direction. UAV operators of the 29th Army of the Vostok Group hit a house that the infantry decided to use as a shelter. Russian FPV drone destroys temporary deployment point with one hit. Kupiansk direction. The village of Kondrashovka is an important point of logistics for the Ukrainian armed forces. A Russian drone hit a main battle tank camouflaged in the trees. The artillery of the center group destroys the strongholds of the 155th Omber of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Artillery units of the Dare group covered the hiding places of Ukrainian soldiers with intense fire. The attack drones of the center group continued to dismantle the strongholds of AFU 32nd Ombre. Russian special forces have been tracking armored vehicles in the Kursk and Sumy regions, and when they see fit, attack and destroy them, regardless of whether they are moving or parked. A NATO-made Striker, APC 8x8 wheeled armored personnel carrier was destroyed. Immediately after the armored vehicle was hit, it was destroyed by a vehicle drone in a warehouse in the same area. The fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod detected the temporary deployment of a group of Ukrainian armed forces in the settlement of Piatychatki in the Zaporizhzhia region. Under attack, the infantry quickly left the position. The infantrymen wanted to hide in another house. However, Russian drones were following them, and they were attacked by a Russian drone in the other house where they were hiding. The fiber-optic FPV UAV operator of the Russian armed forces inspecting the Leopard 2A4 tank mock-up designed by the Ukrainian armed forces. The robotic system emits smoke to protect the lives of Russian soldiers during the offensive in the southern Donetsk direction. A Russian fiber-optic drone struck a van trying to deliver supplies in the Kursk region. After the attack, another fiber-optic drone approached the van, but just then, a Humvee was spotted crossing the road. The fiber-optic drone changed its path and flew over the Humvee.
The Russian Air Force, using FAB-3000s, destroyed the 37th deployment point in the Donetsk direction with a powerful bombardment. The movement of a transport vehicle was detected in the direction of Pokrovsky. Russian attack drones then swiftly mobilized, intercepted the vehicle and issued a fine. A satellite communication station and an R-18 heavy helicopter-type drone were detected in the Donetsk direction. Russian attack drones then swooped in without delay and struck the UAV control point. footage of the destruction of the Bukovel AD electronic warfare system by a Russian Lancet Kamikaze drone, with a heavy strike in the direction of Kharkiv. UAV operators of the 36th Army and 40th Marine Brigade of the Vostok Group are conducting successive drone strikes on houses where airborne infantry units of the armed forces of Ukraine are located in the southern Donetsk direction. FPV UAV operators of the South Group destroyed a Zu-23-2 aircraft of the Ural base near the village of Tihonovka. A towed, double-barreled anti-aircraft gun camouflaged in a pickup truck was destroyed. Near Zapadnoy, the BMP-2 was abandoned as a result of the attacks. Then the attack drone arrived to deliver the final blow and was destroyed. Fighting continues in the Kursk region and is intensifying. UAV control points in the houses inside the village are detected and hit by precise calculations. Drones are fighting against drones. The 155mm self-propelled guns of the Ukrainian armed forces were scrapped as a result of attacks by Russian FPV drones. Electronic devices cannot escape drone attacks. Communications are breaking down. Darkness is falling. UAV operators of the 29th Army of the Vostok Group detected the movement of 3 soldiers. These soldiers realized that they had been detected and set off to change their position. After some distance, they went into another house and hid, but the drones continued to follow them in the sky. Then the attack drone took off, and that was that. In the direction of South Donetsk, the Russian army transmits the coordinates of the soldiers' hideouts to the artillery, and wherever they go, the hideouts are destroyed by powerful artillery strikes. In the Zaporizhia region, Russian mortar crews hit a basement where Ukrainian armed forces infantrymen were located. It then hit the house next to the basement. The basement and the house were destroyed. On Kursk territory, Russian UAV troops never leave the sky. Constantly conducting aerial reconnaissance, they detect all the enemy's movements and hit all their positions, bunkers, equipment, weapons, communication devices. Soldiers whose equipment was shot down hid in the surrounding houses that were slightly damaged, but the drones caught them there. A group of infantry hiding in the basement was located, and the first drone to arrive broke down the door. The next drone entered the basement. The antennas used for communication and drone control in the houses were hit one by one. Russian drones hit what we can call sewage pipes or water pipes under the road with powerful munitions. Then a fire broke out, and the explosives inside exploded. The destroyed houses where the infantry were hiding were attacked by drones capable of dropping ammunition. In the same direction, the pickup truck with the infantry was hit by a precise calculation. The infantrymen abandoned the truck and went into the trees. The BM-21 Grad MLRS of the Dnipro group of forces hit the temporary deployment points of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kherson region. The BM-21 Grad is a simple, effective, and lethal classic multi-barreled rocket launcher system. It is still active on the modern battlefield, playing a particularly important role in wide-area fire support. Russian FPV drones struck an armored infantry carrier vehicle moving in an open field with spectacular maneuvers. Engineers of the 29th Guards Army of the Vostok Group destroy magnetic mines using helicopters, fishing line, and magnets, and also mine the enemy's routes of movement by dropping PFM-1 from UAVs. South Donetsk direction. Kharkiv region, Konstantinovka Road. The BVS-10 Swedish-made tracked armored personnel carrier unloaded the infantry for their planned operation. After the infantry moved through the trees, the tracked armored vehicle set off. However, during the operation, Russian artillery continuously shelled them. After the armored vehicle set off, it was subjected to successive Russian FPV drone attacks. Finally, it parked helplessly on the side of the road and was finished. At the same time, the infantry advancing into the forest were subjected to incessant artillery fire. Footage of the 215th Reconnaissance Battalion of the 98th Guards Airborne Division of the Airborne Forces, working with drones. shelters, equipment, vehicles, and positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kharkiv region were destroyed by the TOS-1A Solntsepek calculation of the Northern Group of Forces. TOS-1A is a Russian-made thermobaric rocket launcher system. Its difference from conventional MLRS systems is that it uses heavy thermobaric, vacuum ammunition. Therefore, it is classified as a heavy fire support system. In the Pokrovsky direction, the operators of the aircraft type UAV of the Center Group destroyed the temporary deployment point of the Ukrainian armed forces with a precision strike. The Orlan 10 aircraft type drone hit the position hard, and the position was destroyed. The temporary deployment position of the personnel of the 25th Detached Airborne Assault Platoon of the Ukrainian Armed Forces was destroyed as a result of 2 drone strikes by Russian FPV drone operators. What is a temporary deployment point? It is a secure or relatively secure area close to the front line, but not in direct combat, where troops temporarily gather for rest, preparation, and resupply. This soldier holds a long stick in his hand and uses it to blow up mines on the side of the road. Look at the length of that stick. No matter how long it is, it seems a bit risky to detonate mines like that. What do you think? Orlan 10 drone operators destroyed control points, antennas, and equipment of the armed forces of Ukraine at a distance of several kilometers. Reconnaissance drone operators conduct reconnaissance day and night, recording the coordinates of detected positions, armored vehicles, and bunkers and transmitting them to attack drone operators. Then the positions are hit one by one. According to the news report, the movement of a pickup truck was detected near Serebryansky. Attack drones then quickly mobilized and flew a drone to the designated coordinates. The drone quickly followed the truck and attacked it. There were 2 personnel in the back of the truck. One of the personnel managed to jump out of the vehicle at the last second, but the other one... Russian drone operators shot down a vehicle carrying ammunition and supplies in the Kursk border region, rendering it unusable. A pickup truck of the armed forces of Ukraine behind a building near one of the settlements on the border of the Kursk region was attacked first by Russian FPV drone operators with the aim of destroying the building, and then the pickup truck. Russian drone operators destroyed the Australian-made 4x4 armored personnel carrier Bushmaster with a single hit. By hitting the front part of the vehicle was rendered unusable. Near the village of Predtichino in the Donetsk region, the UAV control center of the armed forces of Ukraine and UAV control antennas were detected. The coordinates were precisely recorded and then communicated to the attack drones. The attack drones set off immediately. No crew in sight. They may be inside the control center or they realized that the attack was about to take place and left the control center. The control center and antennas were destroyed. Russian tank crews hit positions, equipment, and vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces. They make precise adjustments with the coordinates they receive from the drone operators and hit the targets precisely. In the village of Klusy, Chernihiv region, the temporary deployment point of the UAV unit of the Ukrainian armed forces has appeared. Normal houses do not have so many antennas. That is why it was certain that this house was a UAV control point. The drone carrying Russian ammunition dropped a bomb on the top of the house and it slowly burned down to ashes. Near the village of Bohatyr in Donetsk, FPV drones destroyed an armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces. What is interesting is that at the very beginning of the video, we see that the FPV drone is being used as a remote detonated mine. This drone is pretending to be a mine. When the armored vehicle was hit hard from below, it became unusable and the crew quickly abandoned the vehicle and drove away. Then, new attack drones arrived one after the other and wrecked the vehicle. Near the village of Myropilya in Sumy Oblast, the VT-40 drone destroyed a UAV checkpoint during a night flight. A powerful explosion occurred, hitting a warehouse with fuel and lubricants. The checkpoint was destroyed. Russian FPV drone operators hit 2 pickup trucks based on the REB system after hitting the BMP-2 on the same road. Thousands or even millions of dollars worth of vehicles are destroyed by a few $100 drones. Interesting. In the Kharkiv region, the fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod destroyed the 2 S-1 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer. Russian Lancet drone operators destroyed a self-propelled howitzer and its firing position in the Kursk border area with a precision strike with barrage ammunition. Russian drone operators managed to shoot down a Ukrainian Baba Yaga drone with heavy ammunition that they detected in the air. The crew of the T-72B3M tank of the Dnipro group of forces destroyed a temporary deployment point, equipment, and vehicles in the Kherson region. What is a T-72B3M? 125mm 2A46M-5 smoothbore gun, 1130 horsepower V92 S2F diesel engine. Additional armament: 7.62mm coaxial machine gun, 12.7mm anti-aircraft machine gun. The armor and weapon system is much stronger than the older T-72s. A robot of the Ukrainian armed forces carrying ammunition, supplies, and other goods has been detected. Probably the battery is dead. That's why it's standing still. The drone dropped an ammunition on the robot, and that was it. Novgorod Prince Vandal fiber optic drone operators flew over soldiers on the road. Another fiber optic drone flew over a vehicle traveling in the same direction. No matter what kind of vehicle it is almost impossible to escape from drones anymore. Leave your thoughts in the comments. In the Pokrovsky direction, the BVS-10 double-tracked armored all-terrain vehicle was destroyed by the Russian FPV drone operator's ammunition dropping system drone. The armored vehicle overturned on its side as a result of an earlier attack. Then a final strike was made to finish off the armored vehicle. The drones of the center group continue to hit the castles. As a result of the drones hitting the castles, the electronic devices inside the castles are seriously damaged. In the direction of Kupiansk, a warehouse with many items was hit and burned by a drone capable of dropping ammunition. According to the news reports, the warehouse contained NATO equipment. They are no longer there. Prince of Novgorod Vandal fiber optic drones destroyed the 155mm Bodana and two S-1 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer. The drones discovered the vehicles parked in the trees and then camouflaged. The attack drone was then sent in, and the fiber optic drone did some more reconnaissance and considered which vehicle to attack. Using light and agile maneuvers, it penetrated through the camouflage and destroyed the armored Bodana. Then all the vehicles here were bombed with FABs and destroyed. The BM-21 Grad crews under the command of Legion continue to carry out combat missions to destroy positions, military equipment, and fortified positions of the armed forces of Ukraine detected in the South Donetsk direction. The gunners recently reported the activation of Ukrainian units that are actively using all types of drones on them, from FPV drones to attacking hexacopters. In this footage, you see how the Grad MLRS crews on the front line work.
Сейчас. Уровень. Все. Малой. Да, навожусь. Да. Держи анализатор, смотришь сюда на эту, на цифру. Если изменяется, мне говоришь. Ориентир вон. Красное дерево. Дерево, красный скотч. Малой, передавай. Второй угол. 5, огонь! Расход 5, передавай! Да, принял тебя, оставь там огонь! А? Да похуй, чем быстрее, тем лучше. Конвой шел!
UAV operators of the Southern Group spotted an armored vehicle drone alone in the middle of the road. The vehicle stands alone in the middle of the road. The crew is not visible. The vehicle is undamaged. Why would this vehicle be standing in such an open area? Where is the crew? The armored vehicle, which looked like an easy target, was destroyed in a single strike by Russian attack drones. The UAV checkpoint in Sumy region was hit by FPV drone operators of the Northern Power Group. Drone operators are fighting against drone operators. A drone shoots down another drone. A drone takes off from a UAV takeoff point and hits another UAV takeoff point. The Russian Defense Ministry announced that the points of deployment and accumulation of armored vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine were hit. This vehicle is the multi-barrel rocket launcher system used by Russia. The model of this vehicle is the BM-30 Smerch. It is an advanced system capable of launching 300mm rockets and attacking long-range targets. The Russian Defense Ministry said that the crew of the Buk M1-2 SAM system shot down a Ukrainian drone manufactured by Germany's Vector. The Buk M1-2 is a medium-range surface-to-air missile SAM system developed to counter aircraft, helicopters, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. The destruction of a French VAB armored personnel carrier near the village of Nikolsky in the Kursk region, after a precision strike by Russian FPV drone operators. Apparently, the armored vehicle was attacked earlier, and its crew abandoned the armored vehicle. An attack drone arrived to deliver the final strike. The fierce fighting continues in the Kursk border area. In order to deal the final blow to the heavily hit armored vehicle, a Russian drone slowly approached it. Finally, a powerful explosion and mission accomplished. In the Konstantinovsky direction, the fiber-optic drones of the 132nd Brigade of the Southern Group of Forces hit the vehicle of the self-propelled artillery unit hard. The crew, as it appears in the video, is in the back. But they cannot do anything. They have no choice but to watch how the Russian drone destroys the self-propelled gun. Near the town of Pokrovsk, Russian reconnaissance drone operators detected a self-propelled gun, Crab. The coordinates were then reported to Lancet drone operators. After finishing its mission, the Lancet drone hit the parked self-propelled gun hard, and with a single hit, the million-dollar weapon was destroyed. Drones costing thousands of dollars can destroy millions of dollars worth of weapons with a single hit. The economic impact of the war is becoming staggering. What do you think? An SUV was spotted in the woods, no crew in sight. The drone slowly approached the vehicle and detonated it with a single hit. Kharkiv direction. Russian drone operators detected the movement of a vehicle in an open area. It accelerated to attack the vehicle, but realized that there were civilians in the vehicle and, with a deft maneuver, narrowly avoided hitting it. He then moved a little closer to check on the civilians, changed direction, and drove away. He detected another parked enemy vehicle nearby and destroyed it. In the Kharkiv region, the FPV drone crew destroyed the BM-21 Grad MLRS used by the Ukrainian armed forces with a single hit and a powerful explosion. The explosion was so powerful that the horns and legs of the unit remained, namely the engine and the chassis. The BM-21 Grad MLRS is in service with both Russia and Ukraine. It was developed in 1960 by the Soviet Union and entered service with the Soviet Army in 1963. Using 122mm rockets, it can hit large targets in a wide area. VT-40 drone operators carried out a drone strike on a position identified by the Ukrainian armed forces. The video shows a camouflaged armored vehicle. There is one personnel behind the vehicle. An explosion occurs when the Russian drone arrives. There is a bunker detected near the settlement of Pogrebki in the Kursk region. Drone operators in a controlled and calm manner struck the entrance door of the bunker. The position of the mortar crew of the Ukrainian armed forces was hit. The crew then quickly fled the scene. Russian spotters continued to follow them. The mortar crew hid in a basement. The coordinates were reported to the attack drone operators. A new attack drone mobilized and directly attacked the basement. In the direction of Kurakov, a number of electronic devices such as antennas, electronic warfare devices, video signal or control signal antennas were hit. Antennas used by UAV operators to control drones were hit. Internet providers were also hit. In the Kherson region, Lancet drone operators of the 80th Brigade of the Russian Armed Forces carried out a direct hard strike on the air defense radar of the Ukrainian armed forces. In the immediate vicinity of the place of the attack, the Mobile Air Defense Group of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was attacked by another Russian Lancet drone. In the direction of Kherson, Russian drone operators during reconnaissance detected the UAV control center of the Ukrainian armed forces. A Ukrainian drone arrived and parked. Then the personnel came out of the bunker and took the drone. The coordinates of the bunker were precisely calculated and recorded. The coordinates were transmitted to the Russian attack UAV operators, and the operation began. After the drone control point was hit, a large number of ammunition were found in the warehouse next to the control point. The attack drone operators sent one kamikaze after another to hit the ammunition depot and the checkpoint. In addition, drones with ammunition dropping capability dropped bombs inside the warehouse. destruction of a damaged and abandoned Max Pro MPAP as a result of the impact of 2 KVN fiber optic drones. South Donetsk direction, the work of fighters from the 40th Guards Marine Brigade. UAV control point detected near Grigorovka. The UAV control point was destroyed to ensure the safety of the Russian infantry advancing in the direction of Seversk. In my opinion, drones are the most effective, fastest, and cheapest weapon of modern warfare. Ever since the use of drones in warfare began, defense industries around the world have been working hard to stop drones. What do you think is the antidote to stop drones? The movement of a tank was detected near the village of Peshanoye. Attack drones then immediately set off and intercepted the tank's movement. After several drone strikes, the tank was immobilized. The crew was forced to abandon the tank. While searching for a safe place, the crew was attacked by another drone. BM-21. Grad MLRS used by the Ukrainian armed forces were detected in Donetsk. Grad then started firing rockets. The coordinates of the BM-21 were transmitted to the Lancet drone operators, and the Lancet drone destroyed the MLRS with a single hit with a hard dive. Russian FPV drone operators took action against the bunker detected in a forest clearing in the Kursk region. A UAV control point detected in the direction of Seversk was destroyed by the soldiers of the 2nd Guards Artillery Brigade of the Southern Group after intense artillery shelling. As a result of the cooperation of the artillery and drone operators, the targets were hit as intended. The 152mm towed gun crew of the 25th Combined Arms Army of the Western Army Group destroyed 2 120mm mortars, a US-made M777 howitzer and pickup trucks. Archival footage of Lancet barrage munitions destroying and engaging targets. Among the targets, RM-70 MLRS, BMP-1, M2A2, Bradley, MTLB, T-72, SAU Lancet, developed by Russia's ZALA Aero Group, is a Kamikaze drone loitering munition class unmanned aerial vehicle. Lancet started to be actively used in Russia's special military operations in Ukraine in 2022. In this process, various targets such as Western-made air defense systems such as S-300 and Buk M1, T-64 tanks, M777 and Caesar howitzers were successfully destroyed. A backpack with an anti-tank mine was thrown directly into a fortress discovered in the forest, in the village of Novocheretovaty, Donetsk Oblast, by soldiers of the Vostok Group of the 5th Assault Tank Brigade. Footage of a camouflaged armored vehicle of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kursk region, destroyed with a single hit by Russian FPV drone operators. The internet provider of the Armed Forces of Ukraine was shot down by drone operators of the 272nd Regiment. The drone with ammunition release capability hovered over the target. It precisely adjusted its rotation and released the ammunition. In the direction of Kurakov, a tank was hit by a FPV drone. The tank was not completely destroyed, but badly damaged. It may have been out of action. The fiber-optic drone Prince Vandal of Novgorod visited a German-made Leopard 1A5 tank. It circled around a bit and eventually the drone crashed into the tank. The second drone arrived, and the drone operator completed his mission. A disabled CV-90 is visible in the Sumy area. Just ahead is a Leopard 2 tank, alone and moving rapidly across open terrain. The drone operator is moving quickly towards the target. The drones are so fast that almost no car can avoid them on the battlefield. Transferred last fall with the help of the channel and Chingiz Dambiev's channel readers, a NRTC courier works as a delivery vehicle for ammunition and other cargo in Velikaya Novoselka in the interests of assault troops of the 5th Guards Tank Brigade. With the active use of enemy drones, the use of NRTCs allows for less risk to soldiers' lives and expensive equipment. A US M113 APC was detected in the woods in the Kursk border region. The attack drones then swiftly maneuvered through the trees and hit the M113. Nolnia 2.0 and VT-40 drones continue their work. The drone crashed through the roof of the garage and made a hole. Then another drone dropped ammunition inside the garage. In the same direction, another Russian drone crashed twice into the entrance of a basement and collapsed the entrance door of the basement. The 152mm 2S-19 EMSTA-S gun of the Dnieper troops destroyed a UAV control center in the Kherson region. The 2S-19 EMSTA-S is a howitzer developed in the late Soviet Union and is still in active use in modernized versions in Russia. With its advanced fire control systems and high firepower, it plays an important role on modern battlefields. Drone operators of the 137th Regiment responded directly to a tank convoy formed by the Ukrainian armed forces with drones. The tank convoy was forced to retreat as a result of the drone attacks. Small drones seem to work against million-dollar tanks. What do you think? Pion Sao of the Dnipro troop group hit the equipment and all identified targets in the Zaporizhia region. The 2S-7 Pion is a self-propelled heavy howitzer developed by the Soviet Union in the early 1970s and known for its 203mm cannon. Designated M1975 by NATO, it is particularly notable for its long range and high firepower. During the Cold War, the Tu-S7 Pion was designed to be capable of carrying small nuclear warheads against NATO forces. However, these features were later deactivated. During the conflict in Ukraine, which began in 2022, Russia took these systems out of storage, modernized them, and put them back into service. With its high firepower and long range, the Tu-S7 Pion poses an effective threat against strategic targets on modern battlefields. The war of robots against robots continues. More than 30 drones of the armed forces of Ukraine were shot down in the Artemivsk and Chasiv Yar districts. Modern warfare has become a very interesting situation. We are now in a situation where robots are used by humans on the battlefield, and robots are fighting each other. We will see how much more robots will be used on the battlefield in the future.